Previously on the season.
I think I'm a player's coach. I really care about our kids. I try to get the best out of them. That's no different to how a teacher would operate in the classroom. Sam, if you don't reverse slam that next time, I don't want to know you. And I like knowing you.
We probably identified a few years ago that we had a group of boys that could really achieve something, and that worked nicely with a group of staff members that really wanted to put in the hours.
Nice boys, going well so far, well done. Try and get that heel down, mate.
1 week out from the start of the AIC Championship, Eddie's travels to Coomera for the final pre-season hit-out, the Gold Coast Invitational.
Yep, just doing 3 of them. Make sure you stick that landing. Good, Robbo. Good. Just 10 of these ones, boys, and we'll start moving properly.
All pieces of the pre-season puzzle are converging. Least of all, the physical preparation that has been carefully monitored over the last 6 months.
Good. Try and get nice and springy. Try and go nice and fast off the ground. I'm the strength and conditioning coordinator at Edmund's College. My job is 2 parts, so I help deliver a PE program to get all the kids to know how to use the gym and to know how to work effectively and use that life skill going forward. And my other half of my role is to help develop the sports program, so making our kids that can perform at a sporting level or identified to be a good sportsman and pushing them towards their level that they can get to possibly. So whether it might be a state champs, it might be a AIC first 15 team or first 5 team in the case of basketball, it could be anything like that, but that role is I need to make sure these kids have the best chance at being whatever they could be. So if you want to do trying to do your calf, so put your foot up close to the wall as you can and try and push forward and you'll feel it more, okay? What we can eat now, sandwiches, we can drink Powerades, that kind of stuff. I don't want to see hot chips. No fizzy drinks, boys. All right, I'll come get you at 1:30. Feel free to do more if you want. Do as much as you wish. If there's something sore or you got a problem, come and see me, we'll sort it out. I've got a few things on game though, so primarily it starts, I'll usually be here before most other people, so I make sure I scope out the place, make sure I try and find a place we can do warm-ups, get them ready to go, consult with the coaches, make sure anyone needs something, then I'll strap if we need to. Then we go to the actual game. If there's anything that needs to be done just prior to the game, like maybe someone's tight, something like that, I'll try and fix that up. And then in the game, I'm keeping track of how long the guys are playing for, the minutes, and especially across the tournament phase. If they can survive a 4-day tournament like this and they get through well, I know they're going to go okay.
The GCI brings together teams from all corners of the state and beyond in an effort to trial combinations and test strategies in a round-robin pool and playoff format.
We just can't get a single thing to drop. And we're playing poorly. But when we do the right stuff, it's never dropped.
It gets us to get into our sets, get us to run plays, versus some good teams who are around in the comp right now to see where we need to improve on our stuff.
Hey, we need to keep hands out. We need to keep hands out. 9, 8, 7, 6.
So that going into the season really gets us prepared, really gets us going back to training to focus on what we need to prepare for to just be able to dominate.
We did really well, okay? Disgusting start. The way you ended up playing, the way you came out in that second half, you need to start that way. You have to. Because if you come out like that, you can hang with Jimmy's. Hands in here, live low. Very proud of you.
The team's ability to tough it out is perhaps less about the self-implemented sporting culture, but instead could be attributed to the hard-nosed blue-collar roots in which the Ipswich battler reputation is built.
Ipswich culture is diverse. We have people that have come here from all around the world, so we have a very culturally diverse population. If we have a look at Ipswich history, I think it's actually quite exciting because it's one of the best examples that we have in Queensland of the Industrial Revolution. Right from the 1860s, we have the beginning of the railway. It starts here in Ipswich. We have the first stretch of railway line that opens up agricultural areas. We're looking at thousands of people in the city who are involved with the railway workshops, thousands involved with coal mining, and then we have thousands involved with the mills. So we have cotton mills and woolen mills. Ipswich itself has that cultural industrialism.
The city has produced a generous array of sporting and cultural identities, whom have benefited from its less cluttered, less frenetic way of life.
I think there's about over 200,000 living here today. In the next few decades, 500,000 people are expected to be living here. So many of us we come here because we want to make a home. I feel that we have a very strong community focus. The city of Ipswich as this large country town, that there's still that sense of community, that sense of connection.
And one of the community's iconic institutions sits high on the hill in the shadows of St Mary's Cathedral.
The brothers initially came here in 1892. They set up a school for poor Catholic families in Ipswich who otherwise wouldn't have had an education. It would have been incredibly difficult. You had brothers coming out from Ireland with, in some cases, little or no education, no funds, no resources, starting from scratch with families who had little or nothing to offer and with kids who needed an education. The school gives them something extra. It gives them a better appreciation of themselves, of what our society expects of them. It gives them a more rounded education. It prepares them better for life and for hopefully the contribution they're going to make to their communities and families.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Oh.
Eddies has qualified for the Open Boys third place playoff against a familiar foe, TGS. The results are secondary to the team finding a rhythm and performing well.
I mean, it does help to win, knowing that you can go with the best, but really it's pre-season, so personally I wasn't too fussed, but you know, we didn't get told, oh, we have to come here and win. We were just trying to all get there and all get better.
Hands there, he wants to shoot. Cooper, when you are here on that down screen, you flash middle. Cameron, I want you...
I feel like the goal is to work out different rotations, if we can go small, if we can play big, pretty much do anything really to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, this is like the 45s on both sides are completely open. You get the ball, you attack straight away. Yeah. Good shot, Cam! Good shot!
Oh, contested. Very nice!
In the end, it is a slim but confident victory against a GPS powerhouse, and the bronze medal for the Gold Coast Invitational has been secured. It is a fitting and rewarding end to a lengthy pre-season, a period that finishes with palatable relief, but also great anticipation amongst the players. It's time for the season to begin.
We know how we've done this presentation. I'll introduce the captain. Generous round of applause. He will introduce to you the rest of the team and those 3 rounds of applause for each of those members.
The first team has been selected, and it's formalised in a time-honoured tradition in front of the school.
We have co-captains this year for our basketball first team. First co-captain has represented St Edmunds for the past 5 years. He's been a member of the first team for 3 years. He is a shooting guard. Please congratulate Ethan Robinson.
A long school history here, and I've only been around for the last 10 years, which is actually a fairly short amount of time. There's always been 3 claps, that's how I understand it. The captain gets a generous round of applause and kind of a breakdown of his resume. He then introduces each of the boys with a bit of a joke, something nice about them, and the rest of the school applauds with 3 claps.
Some people call him the longest man in the world. When he isn't chowing down family meals from KFC, he's chowing down people on the basketball court. He is a rock Angwick.
This player is probably the closest blend between Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving. He is Logan Atkins.
follow a tradition, gentlemen. You follow a tradition of young men before you who have also been selected. You've been given that great honour of being a person who's reached the highest level of representation here at the college. In our community, people acknowledge that, and they acknowledge that that means something. It means that you trained, you worked hard, you were dedicated, you were committed, because you can't get to this level without doing all of those things. And here we are at the beginning of a new season, the defence of the premiership, okay? That's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. Everyone will come after you. Every school will come after you. They will want to knock you off your pedestal because they want to make sure that they beat the champions. Every game will be tougher than last year. But I know that you will represent the college with great distinction, so I wish you all the best in the defence of the crown. Basketball's Ethan, Co-captain Cooper, Arop, Logan, Sam, Max, Jaden, Jordan, Sam, Cameron, Toby, and Merrick. One final message. With sport, it doesn't happen without the opposition. So we are competitive, we're strong, we go out there and we play in a way and a style that says that we want to win, absolutely, but we don't play with arrogance, rightio? We don't play in a manner that is disrespectful to the opposition. Let that be how the Eddies team wins this year.
The values outlined in Dermot O'Riordan's speech are part of the moral fabric of a school that takes great pride in producing the next generation of young men.
People get massive bang for their buck at St Edmunds. For a private boys' education in this area, we offer just about everything that you could want to tackle within a teenage sort of spectrum. In terms of a Catholic institution, we pride ourselves on developing a young man that by the time they finish their 6 years at St Edmunds, they'll walk down Jim Smith Drive, which is our front driveway, being a valuable contributor to the community, and a kind man, a strong man, a gentleman.
And Eddie's success extends beyond the norm, highlighted in 2 outstanding initiatives unique to the school.
That's why we believe that this program is so important, having an influential person in one's life as a mentor.
The mentoring program is a program aimed at Year 11 students where they're given an opportunity to work with a mentor in a field that they've chosen that they might like to pursue as a future career. So it's a aim to help them decide if that is the direction in which they'd like to go. As a student at 15, 16 years of age, you can look at a career and see the glamorous side of it, but not actually see the nitty-gritty day-to-day work that goes into that particular profession. As far as I'm aware, the program like this is unique to St Edmunds. It was started here 13 years ago as a brand new program. In my career, I haven't seen it at any other school.
And in what has become an Eddie's tradition, a physical challenge that has a charitable cause at its heart.
Basically, it's about Year 12 graduates giving back for one last time. So School to Schoolies was started in 2003. This year's our 15th year running it, riding 115 kilometres from the school gate down to Cavill Mall. I think it's just a good all-round venture for the boys to be involved in. They have to be involved in the fundraising. So that's what it's all about, is raising money for charities. And our charities are Ipswich Hospice, St Vincent de Paul and our Brothers on Borders project that the REA do. We're expecting them to train all year round at least 2 to 3 sessions a week, ideally, especially as we get closer to the ride.
We'll do our warm-up. I'll take you through the warm-up in a second, all right? Everyone does 3 sets of 3 trap bars or squats with some depth jumps. The reason why we're doing that, we're getting our muscles going and we're pretty much priming them, so when we get on court, everything is firing best it can. When you got that one done, boys, okay? Just your deep squat, so 12 squats, nice and deep, low as you can go. Nice and slow, hold at the bottom.
It's important to start well in the AIC because momentum's everything. You don't get a shot at a final, it's just first past the post after 7 games.
Boys, if you are done, start packing the gear up, okay? Save yourself rush from doing it later on.
Yeah, just tie my shoelaces. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
With these kids, it's important to keep that momentum going, keep them positive going forward into the next games. So getting a win in the round 1 well, it was crucial for our season, really, no matter who it was going to be against.
Okay, get to gear, rookies on bottles, let's go.
First game against Iona was a very, very important game and show the other schools what we can do.
They're very physical. They try to match you with physicality and I think frustrate you out of your game. Coming into that round, we thought that they would try to get in our faces and take us out of our stuff. We don't have a basketball crowd at St Edmunds, right? We get kids coming and watching, but they don't know what actually is the good stuff. Let's teach them. Let's get them excited because we're up the floor and they can't cross the halfway line because we're playing in our right positions, yeah? You sacrifice so much throughout the year leading up to this game and for the next 7 weeks or 8 weeks with state champs, that it's not worth giving away because you're distracted by the crowd.
The start of the season is probably the most important. How we start, it should be how we end too. Coming off a premiership last year, I think it was very important.
If your first game doesn't go well, you're just going to have that stuck in the back of your mind and you're not going to play to your full potential.
Have I told you yet this year that I love you guys and that I think you're all good players? I know I tell you that a lot, okay? And I do. Don't forget that, because if you do get drawn into that niggle today, I will have to pull you off the court.
It's standing room only for the first game of the season. As the team goes about their 15-minute on-court warm-up, the home crowd ensures that visiting teams feel under pressure before the game even begins.
We need to start strong, we need to be disciplined in diamond, otherwise they could run through us early. Let's have some fun. Live low.
Man don't talk that talk, man just walk it out.
Bucket. Let's go, diamond, diamond, diamond. Seal early, Sam, seal early. Middle of the zone. Logan, if we score again, I want diamond. Call it.
Yeah, good. Yo, know who to talk that talk to. Please don't run your mouth. My gang so 10 toes that some can't walk about. Free act, free gaps in the cells, we live what we're talking about. First of the race, we're the ones you should have second thoughts about. Before you do something stupid, just can't you force it to prove it. Slugs what we're letting go when we find you, when I say that we'll lose it.
We're not necessarily playing as well as we could, okay? On little things. Our help defense isn't good enough yet. Logan, 20, we're going straight back to 22, okay? Yeah, he is. He really is. Oh, look where he is. He was inside the arc. How'd he end up on the baseline then? This guy weighs 60 kilograms. He can't push him that far. Not even if he tried. Sorry, Cameron, how much do you weigh? 75. I'm sorry, man. 75.
Steady, one shot, one shot!
St Edmunds hold the lead heading into the final stanza of the game. But basketball is a game of seconds, not minutes, and each one will count as they close in on victory.
Listen, it's not all about scoring, disruption. We want to disrupt what they're trying to do, make them uncomfortable. It's hand down, man down, like it will be all-state champs, like it will be against Ashgrove, and like it will be against a team like Laurie's, whose only way to beat us will be like Johanna from outside, yeah? The other thing is they're going to get tired. They've run 6 guys the whole time. We've used everyone but Toby, and Toby's going to get in as well. We're a stronger team, we're a smarter team, and we'll start playing like it soon. But the rotation's important. Be happy with it, be a star in your minutes, be safe in your minutes, and then in the end, we'll blow them out because they won't be ready. Go, boys. Live low.
Play big. Good job, Max. Yeah, beef. Yeah, beef. Yeah, Logan!
Why?
Just a little bit.
That's not why they're scoring. We're doing fine. It's working. You're okay. Logan, Do the job. Sacrifice, let's go. He just doesn't like not being near the ball. Tell Logan to play the same way, just palms up the whole time, yeah. Did he put hands on? Oh, okay.
Good. You're way better than.
All right, listen. Let's recount their scores. Fouls because Maxi jumped. Another foul because we got tangled up on like a switch, and then one where...
As the game edges towards its final 5 minutes, there is a subtle reminder that in high school sport, the physical efforts can be spirited, and this often leads to harmless, yet emotional moments.
Okay.
Apparently, are you the coordinator?
Yeah.
We'll just set up. Apparently he's... Stay out
I'm the
for a
coach.
sec. No, stay out for a sec. We'll sort it out and then we'll let you know.
I'll talk to him a second.
So, wait.
Okay, so who said that?
They've come in from the timeout and the coach has just come and told me.
Okay, so can I speak to my player?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, is that all right? Can I do that now?
Why don't you get him a sub out for a minute and then he can come back in.
Do we have to do that? Or because that's been unfounded at the moment? Well, but that's only an allegation.
Yeah, sure.
If he's talking, you just got to ignore it. So they've watched him talk and they've gone at the last break and they've... I watched those two refs just say the whole time now, he's instigating it as well.
Can we get them under control too?
Yeah, I don't think anything else is... Everything's pretty even other than that.
Okay.
I feel like that.
Don't let him take you out of it, okay? Nothing changes, no talk. Blowing kisses.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's the confrontational nature of the game, but it's soon forgotten in the blur of the final moments of round 1, as Eddies pull away safely.
Great pass. Job, Ed.
A Rob flash.
Yeah, I like it.
Runner up corner. Tobias is out there getting in people's faces and Sam's in there with people getting into his chest, taking chest contact again. I'm happy with how that ended. Once again, I think we'd all agree that while we can play so well, and we definitely showed that today, we need to be able to do it the whole time, okay? The whole time. We can get so much stronger and so much more athletic. Good job. Hey, I'm happy, but we need to work harder.
Next time on The Season.
I'm not nervous to go over there and play. I've been there before, I know what their skill level's like. I know college is going to be a lot more physical.
Put it back on. Put it back on till Thursday, please, or up. Look after it, I know.
Cooper's a bit of a contradiction, actually. He can be quite intimidating to those that don't know him.
I've obviously gone in for a layup.
For more information on St Edmund's Ipswich, enrolments and open day, visit the Eddies website.